Yo, here we are again. Okay, I think today we're just gonna play some casuals again, going with the good old 2v2s. I find myself playing like a lot of casual just so that there's like no stress of actually playing, if you get what I mean. Because with ranked, it's like, oh my gosh, my entire rank's on the line. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna derank and all that. I think that's honestly like feeling for most competitive video games. Like, oh man, my rank's on the line. What the fuck? But just playing that casual experience allows you to chill out, I guess, which I can really appreciate. And then that way also you can try new stuff that you're afraid to try in ranked matches. Most of the time, I just play casual. Say I'm like probably mid flat for this game, which for those of the uninitiated, that's pretty close to like mid to low two. So that's fun. Now, what I do need to start playing more of though is a comp. That's where they're at, because if you can start playing comps and enjoying it, that's when you start getting really good, because you're detached from your rank at that point, and that way you can get all of your playtime in while still getting a competitive experience. Because not gonna lie, it is different than casual, as in people will play differently despite thinking that they won't. That's just a matter of fact with casual comp. Like for me, lots of the time I just try and hit the ball, because that's all I can manage right now. But at this level, just seem to get good, honestly. Okay, let's go. Hey, that goal explosion, that's the shield breaker, I believe. It's part of this year's Rocket Pass. On the Rocket Pass, it's pretty good this season, I guess. It's season 7, and they introduced like gold painted items, which is honestly awesome. Because in this game, you can get like a whole bunch of different items that are varying different paints, and depending on how lucky you are, you can get some really cool paints. The fuck? You guy's a champion. Wait, what? Okay, sorry about that, but you can get season rewards in this game, and pretty much what that means is, depending on what rank you placed at, you can get rewards corresponding to that rank. Like, and what they'll do is they'll often put like the emblem of the rank in the gift, or like in the item. And what that will often be like is it's either a decal on your car, like this one I have here, it's like the flames and stuff. This isn't like a rank one, but it's a cool one nonetheless. I just fucked that one up. But pretty much, where was I going with this? Okay, pretty much though, you can get your rank pretty much stamped onto your goal explosion, which was what was happening today. And that rank that I'm playing against, that rank that gold explosion was one of the high ranks. It's called champion, which obviously you can assume is a big rank. But the reason I'm surprised by that is these guys do not play like champions. And I have played against champions before. I lost big, but that's what surprises me, because their champion, to get that reward, they had to play at a champion level for like 10 games. They had to win 10 games at the champion level. And 2 of the people in this game have that. So that means that 2 people in this game have sustainably played at champion level for a period of time. And it's just surprising to me that you're not playing like champions. It's weird. I don't know what to say. Yeah, like that's the champion goal explosion. You can see by the symbol, they have a dime for it. In his tag, it said season 6 champion tournament, and it was just the emblem for champion, which is that diamond shape. So that's just weird to me. Granted, it could be in like an extra game mode, like Rumble or something, which is a lot of RNG, so you can get there. Technically, if you are like a flat player, more specifically a diamond most of the time, it's still unusual, I'd say. Because with champions, most of the time, they can hit like crazy moves. Like, they can go in the air, hit that ball up, no problem. Like, you've seen me going up in the air trying to hit the ball, and I struggle with it quite a bit. Like, now, I hit the ball, but I struggle with it. Those champions, they just go, bam, hit it, no problem. It's when I'd say that's when you start showing, like, actual skill in this game. Diamond is the rank right before champion, and before that is my rank, platinum. Diamonds have quite a bit of skill, I'd say, but not enough to be defined as special, I'd say. But champion is where you start getting like actually unique, good stuff. Like, you start becoming an actual player instead of another just random random flat player. Yeah, I think it's like 1% of the player base is like champion or something, or grand champ. I can't remember. But it's not very often achieved. It's pretty comparable to Valorant, to be honest, where not like Radiant, which is the highest rank in the game. They only allow like 500 players at a time to have that rank. But through the highest rank in this game is Supersonic Collection, and I don't think there's that many. As in, I dare say fewer than 500. And it's not because it's capped. It's just that it's that rare for that rank to just be a tank. It's weird. Yeah. No, that's what I do like. Is just with any game, to be honest, the formatting system between ranks, it's just I can really appreciate just that kind of order. No, but like you can see with my name, it has like a little tagline underneath it that says Season 7 Star Tournament Winner, and that star is the emblem for Platinum. But the other guy has the champion emblem, which is 2 ranks above mine. So that means he's playing like at the peak of his rank to get that tournament win. I guess that also means I'm playing at the peak of Platinum. To be fair, I was probably carried by my teammate quite a bit. If anyone's watching this that has like extensive knowledge on like Rocket League skill, you could give me like an approximation of where I sit, because I think it's pretty accurate to say like I'm a low plat. And just get lucky sometimes with a good play. I think where I do good is if I'm not trying to, as in like if I'm not absolutely sweating, focused out, stressing about everything, I can do pretty well. Like that was, I'd say that was a nice play, to be honest. Obviously there's some problems with it, but it was a good shot. So that's why I find that appeal in making a series like this, is it just allows me to chill and not really think of the game too much. Just focus on like talking. It's cool. Now, recently I've been watching a bit of Emblem videos. If you haven't watched him before, it's fucking awesome. Would definitely recommend. Most of the time he makes YouTube documentary videos, but most recently he just made a video about himself and his history on YouTube. And that just really got me thinking. Like, he talked about how at first he started making just like short little YouTube clips of edits on SpongeBob and stuff, and just enjoying the process. And I think I can start to get that. Like, video making, it seems a lot of fun. I've made a couple videos in the past, and just being able to create it's really fun. And speaking of that, I really want to get into drawing art. As in, I've done a lot of casual mediums, like, what do I call it? Like, canvas and painting. Like, I'm a very traditional painter, if you might say. So I've only ever really done, like, landscape paintings and shit like that. I've done, like, a few birds one time, but that's pretty much it. And that, it gives you, like, ideas on how to properly draw on 2D, on digital, but not everything. And that's what I really want to learn this year, is just how to draw on digital. because if I could learn how to do that, I could make a lot of money doing that too. Like, if you commission someone to draw like art or something and you get really popular, I've seen like these creators making 6 figures just from Patreon benefits alone. It's pretty crazy. Oh man. What do I do? Yeah, no, that's one of the scary things for me is just whenever the ball gets directly on top of me, what do? I go straight up, then I hit it in the wrong direction. And then it feels like I should just never have the ball directly above me. And I think that's honestly what you want in this game, is not to have that. That guy that just aggressively came at me, he was going for a demo just to explode someone like that. And pretty much that, I think it's 3 seconds, it completely disables you for us, and you're just not in the game for 3 seconds, which can really hurt the team, obviously, because you're playing with a down player, and then you have no one in that position that they need to fill. On a 2v1, it's really detrimental, but like a 3v2, if I was playing like a 3v3 game, it's not as bad, but it still does hurt a lot. But the good thing is it's only 3 seconds, which I do appreciate. Sometimes, though, I feel like they should just up the time that it takes to respawn, like by 2 seconds or something. Yeah, just to make it more effective, but I feel like people already do it enough, to be honest. Yeah. One thing I've definitely noticed at this game, as well as like FPS games, is the fact that in like mid to low tiers of competitive play, no one uses voice chat. As in, like, you'd be rare to find someone that legitimately uses a voice chat to help you team. And I'm speaking from experience with like Valorant and like CS:GO. Like, we would talk, but like nothing super tactical in Valorant or CS:GO. And I guess that's fair because we're still pretty bad players, but I feel like communication can just help you so much, especially in this game, because what can happen a lot is you and a player can do something called a double kill, where you both go for the ball at the same time, and it can work in your favor if one of you hits it or if both of you hit it, but if both of you miss, then there's no one left to defend the enemy counterattack. Like, say both him and I went for that ball right there, and both of us went, then they could just carry it all the way back here, and they'd be absolutely fucked. So I've kind of taken it upon myself as a player to like realize when to and when not to attack the ball, which is a hard thing because you're like, whole objective of this game is to score. So obviously that means you want to be touching the ball as long as you can. But yeah, it's just little intricacies in games that I really can appreciate, especially in this game. Like, lots of the time you can watch a professional Rocket League game and be like, oh yeah, I could definitely do that. And be like, oh yeah, it's easy to fly up in the car like that, especially if you've never played it. Like, especially if you've never played it. But once you actually do play it, you're like, oh shit, this is actually kind of hard. And you realize just going in the air itself requires an insane amount of skill, and just being able to control where you are in the air. No, here's my hypothesis. So this guy apparently season 6 champion tournament winner. He probably got boosted, which is what I think. Lots of the time people will play with a higher level player than them, so that way they can get better titles like that. And he probably played with like a grand champ or something, which is just above champion, to be assumed. And I'd say he's a platinum himself, as in like low plat, high gold. But yeah, no, lots of the time though, I noticed that people don't really play like the rainbow, as in they could be diamonds, to be honest. As in, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like diamond 1, diamond 2, just because of the fact that lots of the time people will not always play at their peak. As in, like, near the majority of the time, you're not playing at your peak. But and that's what I struggle with a lot. Is like, oh man, I may be this rank, but do I really deserve this rank? And I feel like that's stopping me from advancing a lot, because I think, oh hey, I'm just this rank, and when I go up against people of a higher rank and then I beat them, it's like, oh no, they're just like having an off game or something, and just like taking pride in yourself. It's a hard thing to do because you don't want that hope of you being better than them to be invalidated. Like if they were having an off day and then you realize that and you're like, oh, I thought I was really good, but no, I just got lucky. And just crushing your pride, that's what hurts the most. It's like when you believe that you are good and then you get a reality check. Ooh, that was a good touch though. We'll say that. Do I make it? Let's go! I think that was a good play, to be honest. No, what I go for right here is, I didn't intentionally get a double touch. That pretty much means you hit the ball against the wall and then you hit the rebound of the ball. But I wanted to hit the ball in order just to get it over there. And you can kind of predict where the ball is going. Obviously, as you get better, you know for the most part where the ball will be. Whew, that was a good shot. That was not as good of a shot. But yeah, as you get better, you can predict where the ball is going to go. And that's what I've been trying to do. Because if you can predict where the ball is going to be, you can be there before the enemy players. And that way, you get the ball before. As it's simple. Oh fuck, he's right there, Oh, that was on me. Yeah. Lots of the time, though, one of the hardest parts of this game is you can see where you need to be, and then if you're not there, it can really get to you. Like, why wasn't I there? If I was only faster, if the game, if this game only allowed you to like travel faster. But what I keep on reminding myself is like, if a pro player can do this, why can't I get better and get like half as good as that, and then I can be there? That's what I told myself with a lot of things. Like, how is this ever possible? And I see like, oh, these crazy, insane guys are doing so much more than I ever thought possible. Surely I can at least get to somewhere somewhat impressive. As in, like, not the same level as that. That'd be crazy if I could. But like even half of it, and then you're still incredible. No, that's why I tell myself sports a lot of the time. It's like, I throw discus in high school, and I throw pretty decent. My PR for this season was 114 feet, and that's a 1.6 kilogram discus. So about like, I think that's 3 pounds, about 4 maybe. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty good, as in that was above most competitions, and I did place second in a competition with that throw. But the problem is there's a lot of people that are better than that. So what I have to say to myself is, hey, I can get a lot better, because I know that the high school record for the same distance that I am throwing is over 2 times the distance I threw. So even if I could half that, I'm improving on what I already have. Which is a crazy thought. The discus high school record, by the way, is 243 feet. So imagine throwing a 3.2 pound or 4 pound frisbee 240 feet, and then that's probably reaching like an apex height of like 100 feet. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Not to like use weights or anything, but just sheer impressiveness. That's what that is. And to kind of like clear my name of being bad at discus, I did just start this year, so not like an absolute scrub at it. Thank God. And I have an excuse. I just started. Just trust. Despite that, realistically, I just started playing sports last year. As in, last year was my first year ever playing a sport, and I started with football, which is funny, just because like, hey, that's the #1 American pastime or some shit. I don't know, and I've never done anything before, and I'm gonna start with the most popular thing in high school. So that experience was fun in of itself, and I think I did okay. I was a bench warmer most of the time. I definitely think I contributed in practice because at the end of the year they would do like an award ceremony, of course, and I got something called Scout Team MVP. Pretty much what that means is like out of like all the backup players there were, I was one of the best. So I'll take that, especially for my first year. Uh, which what I also think is funny about football is you can't tell right now, but I'm a pretty big guy, as in like I look like the kind of person that should have been playing football since he was like in third grade or something. And I just was like, nope, I'm gonna do theater for 2 years before I even came to football. It was fun. I enjoyed theater a lot, but doing football really taught me a lot, to be honest. Like, if you do physical activity, you have fun. As in, like, even if you're not good at it, getting in shape and working hard to achieve something, and then when you do achieve something, even the smallest thing, it feels amazing. Because you're like, I did this with my own body. Because there's not really any feelings like that besides physical exercise. Yeah. So I can really appreciate that. Yeah, just sports in general, to be honest. And what happened is for that year, last year, I did 3 sports. I went from doing no sports to 3 sports in 1 year, which I find funny as shit, to be honest, because I was a theater kid for 2 years. I just did sportsman time. So, yeah, it's pretty funny. All right. I think I'm going to call that good for this video. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I'll probably post another video tomorrow, to be honest. What I think I'm going to do for the scheduling of this channel is just post videos when you're going to play a game and you're going to play by yourself, to be honest. I'll probably play with other people in future videos, but for now, I I really think I'm just enjoying making videos, and that's what really matters. All right, enough of this sappy shit. Have a good 4th of July. I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably.